connectivity really is the most important thing in demand for aircraft today. And we're with Matt Harrow, who's the president of Astronics. Matt, you're bringing a new generation of antenna to the market at the moment. Tell us about the E-Series.
Yeah, so the E-Series is our latest generation of fuselage-mounted antenna. It stands for electronically steered array. We've actually partnered with Phaser Solutions out of the UK to bring their technology into the aviation market.
And what does it do that's different?
The biggest difference with an electronically steered array is the fact that it's solid state, no moving parts, and you actually have a very software-driven kind of aperture. And so with this, it means that we can do more things in terms of beam forming, compatibility between not just the traditional geostationary satellites, but also into the MEO and the LEO world with the low Earth orbit and medium Earth orbit.
Okay, looking at the dishes behind me here, they look pretty thin compared to some of the others I've seen sitting on the fuselage of aircraft. Are they?
They absolutely are. So when you start looking at the actual size and the height, you look at an area where, like with this middle particular antenna, you're 6.5 centimeters off the crown of the fuselage and the skin. And when you look at the taller side with the larger antenna, which is a much bigger array, you're still only within about 9 centimeters. So that keeps you well down and kind of into the boundary layer, which really reduces the drag you can weight, and that turning into cost for the operator.
Okay, and I noticed with the small one, which I think is really for business aircraft, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Can I ask you a question, having seen quite a number of these in the Middle East? Heat has been an issue. How are you going to solve that challenge?
So the beauty of the technology that we're working with Phaser on is actually that we have the ability to shut down selectively bits of the array in order to try to control heat if it's getting too hot. And really the corner case is being on the ground in Dubai in the middle of summer, right? And so by sitting there selectively turning on and off elements within the antenna, as well as there's a very complex kind of heat sink system on the backside of the antenna, we're able to manage the heat flow so that way we can maintain operation throughout the entire gate to gate.
Okay, finally, one of the other challenges is contacting those satellites as you move around the world. How are you addressing that with ESAs?
So the beauty of an electronically steered array is that it's very quick to respond in terms of making the beam switch from satellite to satellite. And so when you look at things like LEOs in particular is a great example. You have a 2.5 minute window in order to look at the satellite. You may have up to 16 beams, so you may only have 16 seconds of each time. With an electronically steered array, we actually have the ability to make a switch that fast and to be able to keep the antenna tracking. The other part of that is when we start looking at the modem technology. So with the modems that are actually supporting the antennas, we're seeing more and more of a desire for roaming. We're looking at things like, do you need to have multiple modems based on the networks that you may be operating in? As we're trying to build in that flexibility to the system from the start so that we can provide the operator, both at the network and at the airline, with the most flexibility possible.
Matt, thank you very much.